Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. In today's video, we got another edition of our call-ups talking about Stanley Johnson of the Los Angeles Lakers. Stanley Johnson has been one of the most, if not the most, impactful hardship player during this stretch of the season. So let's dive in and talk about him and how he's been impactful. First things first, let's talk about his career and his past. He was drafted 8th overall in 2015 to the Detroit Pistons out of Arizona. Over his career, he hasn't lived up to the 8th pick. He's been struggling, he's been out of the league, he's been just trying to find his way, and this 10-day contract I think was huge for him. He's come in, averaged nearly 7 points per game, 3 rebounds, just under an assist and a half a game. He's shooting his most effective from the field, and he's just bringing an impact at both ends of the floor. So to start, let's talk about how he's helped out the Lakers offensively. As far as his offensive impact went, he didn't do too much that was outside of his box, but what he did that was very successful was, first of all, he was an elite finisher for them. Whether that meant attacking closeout, playing on the porch, being a roll man, he did it at a really high level. He was physical around the rim, able to finish through contact, take a bump or two. He was really good in transition too, throw it ahead to him, get downhill, finish with either hand. His ability to just finish these plays on a consistent basis and have such an effective field goal percentage was just huge for the Lakers. Along with that, he was able to do it in a variety of situations and in a variety of roles on this end of the floor. Secondly, the thing that brought a ton of impact to the Lakers was his ability to shoot with confidence. He didn't shoot the ball at the highest clip, shooting 25% during the 10-day contract, but he wasn't afraid to hoist them up. He looked good, the jumper looked good, it was smooth, he was rising up, knocking it down, taking his time, wasn't rushed. If he's able to continue to shoot with this confidence, I believe that over time, his numbers from deep will just continue to go up. Now let's dive into his work on the defensive end that really brought a spark to the Lakers. So first things first, he brought a ton of versatility. He was able to take on a variety of matchups and be able to switch 1 through 5 basically, especially since the Lakers have started to be implementing more of a small ball lineup, and Stanley Johnson fit right in. He was able to play the 4, play the 5, depending on who else was in, and he was able to take on all these different matchups, whether that meant Christian Wood one night, whether that meant Blake Griffin, Sterling Brown, or Nazir Reed when they played Minnesota. He also was able to guard Jaren Jackson Jr., and his ability to be physical, whether that meant at the point of attack on the perimeter, staying low, being in a stance, getting up into the ball, pressuring, having active hands, sliding, staying in front, or if that meant on the post. He was able to stay low, be aggressive, hold his ground, really make the post player work for any position to get a bucket. Another thing that made him really effective on this end of the floor was his ability to rotate, make plays, be smart. He was really good at running guys off the line, forcing tough twos. He really did a good job Xing out, rotating, being in the right position time and time again. He just continuously did his job at a really high level. He pressured, he was physical, sometimes to a fault, but overall just that aggressive mentality and ability to want to make plays and bring that energy to this end of the floor was huge for the Lakers and definitely helped them out in the long haul. Another thing about his off-ball efforts defensively, there's a couple clips in here where he makes multiple efforts on the ball, from being in help position, plugging the roll, then going out, closing out, running the guy off the line, and then Xing out with the help. And he just showed so many examples of playing high-level defense that it was hard to really say that he didn't bring an impact to this end of the floor. And I think that if he continues to play at this high of a level defensively, he can definitely have a role for the Lakers for the rest of the season. For these last couple clips, I just want to show how good of an individual defender he was during his time with the Lakers and will be in the future. He did an awesome job with one of the best one-on-one players in the NBA in guarding James Harden on Christmas Day. He stayed low, stayed in a stance, was active with his hands, tried not to foul, was really up into James Harden and made him uncomfortable in the fourth quarter, forcing turnovers, forcing tough threes, forcing tough in-between shots and floaters. If he's able to do this for the Lakers and take the load off of LeBron and Westbrook and guarding in the perimeter, his impact could be priceless. So, I hope you guys learned about Stanley Johnson, as he's been one of the most impactful call-up guys by truly making a two-way impact during this hardship period in the NBA with COVID. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.